There are over 500,000 kids in foster care across the United States, and making sure they're well taken care of takes a village. I'm Erin Lindstrom, and this is Foster Care Aware, a production brought to you by Tidewater Friends of Foster Care with support from the Barry Robinson Center. If you've had it on your heart to become a foster parent, volunteer, donor, advocate, or just want to learn more, you're in the right place. For more information on how to move forward, head to fostercareaware.org/next steps. And now I'm thrilled to share today's segment with you. Hey, I'm Erin Lindstrom, and I am joined by Audra Bullock, the President and Director of Tidewater Friends of Foster Care, and Kimberly Neals, a foster parent recruiter and trainer for Newport News Department of Human Services. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
We're excited to just get to know you and hear a little bit about how this all works in Newport News. So to start us off, could you tell us a little bit about how many children are in care in Newport News, and how great is your need for foster parents at this point in time?
Well, right now we have currently over 110 children in the city of Newport News that are currently in foster care. We are in great need of foster families. Specific to the area of Newport News, we have a big promotion that we have going on right now, and it's entitled Our Children, Our Community. And what we're trying to do is keep our children that are in Newport News in the communities in Newport News. That way they don't have to move from city to different cities where they may have to go to different schools and et cetera. But the good thing about that is we're still looking for foster parents outside of Newport News too. So we're looking for anyone within the area to take on the challenges of being a wonderful foster parent.
So Kimberly, that's wonderful. I know you're looking for Newport News and we have foster homes across Hampton Roads, but tell us, in your opinion, what makes a successful foster parent?
The one thing that I like to tell my foster parents that are going through training is the ability to be flexible. Foster care is temporary. It is so very hard to love a child and then have to release them to go back into the reunification of their family members. So I think that the ability to be flexible is one very important attribute that we're looking for foster parents, and just the ability to love children and treat them like they're your own.
So do you have to be a two-parent family? Do you have to be heterosexual? Tell us about kind of the spectrum of foster parents that you're looking for.
We welcome anyone. The criteria just says you have to be single, married, or divorced. But we do welcome one-parent homes. It's either women or men. Same-sex homes. We do not discriminate. Anyone is able to love a child. Anyone. So absolutely. We're looking for anybody that has an open heart.
Beautiful. And age range?
They have to be over the age of 21, but after that, anything goes. So if they're over 21, they certainly can be a foster parent.
And there's no upper age.
No.
Yeah, no upper age. Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about the licensing process in Newport News? How long does it take to become a foster parent, and what can people kind of just leaning into this expect as far as a timeline?
Well, right now, Newport News, we are really booming. We are doing trainings every other month. So if anyone is out there listening, they certainly can get into one of our foster parent trainings. We are actually doing virtual trainings right now. I just completed a foster parent training last week of a group of 8 families, and we did it all virtual. So every other month we are holding Pride trainings. What you have to do is fill out an application, fill out questionnaires, and we'll walk you through the process. We have no problem with doing that. Typical time frame takes about 2 to 2.5 months to be approved. So from beginning to the end, it takes about 2.5 months.
Okay.
That's super. That's really quick. I'm very impressed with that. Can you tell us a little bit more about, the Pride model and how you present that to parents. I don't think our viewers necessarily might know what Pride is.
Absolutely. New Generation Pride is a training that we use to train our foster parents, where it is a 5-week session that we meet every week, and we talk about different things such as the 5 competencies, how to protect and nurture children, how to meet their developmental needs. It basically gives you a blueprint of how or what we are looking for in foster parents.
That's
So
fantastic.
that is the training that we utilize.
And then that's for licensing, but tell us a little bit about ongoing support that you provide for foster parents, birth parents in the way of training, and then other supports as well.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not partial to Newport News. Don't think I am. But I am going to say that Newport News does have a very good support system, not only for foster parents, but also for biological families. We have family engagement workers that work hand in hand with our social workers who just basically work with biological families. So they are trying to meet the needs of the biological families. Whatever reason the child came into care, they're trying to rectify that within the family so those children can get back home. They're giving them training opportunities, parenting classes, etc. On the other end, for our foster parents, we have ongoing training monthly where we do lunch and learns. We also do, because of COVID-19, we're doing virtual trainings right now. We do those twice a month as well. Also, we are the only locality that have case managers. So in conjunction with family engagement workers who work with the biological families, the social workers who carry the blunt of the case, we also have case managers that work with our foster families, especially those new ones that are just, coming into fostering. We don't want to just throw them into fostering and not have support. So we offer them ongoing training, but we also give them a case manager who walks them through the fostering process. So if a child comes into their home, we're helping them find physicians immediately for the child. We're giving them therapeutic interventions if the child is not sleeping at night. So we are in the home once a week, minus COVID. Now we're doing virtual visits, but we're in the home initially once a week. And that is during our assessment process. And once we figure out where the foster family needs some help, we still stay on board and we'll still help. So we are the only locality right now that has that model of case managers that are specific to our foster families.
Amazing.
Oh, that is fantastic amount of support, because I know that, a lot of the kids that come into foster care have pretty substantial needs. I mean, they've been through a lot, in the way of whatever precipitated them coming into care. And then there's the separation from their family, which is also traumatic. So helping parents navigate that, I think, is just an incredible thing to do.
Yes, and just being a listening ear, because I know when we first go into foster care, we want to do everything right. We want to make sure that we're doing everything that our trainers taught us, everything that the social workers taught us, but we put case management in place because we are going to make mistakes. We don't always get it right, but to have someone there to help you stay on track, I think that just keeps with our retention efforts. Being able to retain our foster parents is just important as getting foster parents. We want to retain our foster parents.
Right. It, it's not an easy journey, is it? And having that support system in place is good. And that, I think, it alleviates the pressure of this need to feel like you have to be a perfect parent to become a foster parent. Not the case. You have to show up. You got to just be a parent and care. And it takes a village, right? Erin, that's what you always say, is the more people around these kids, the better off they are.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Like, what a supportive environment that they're stepping into. Kimberly, I have a question for you. I know that the number one goal is reunification for these kids to go back to their biological families. In the case where that's not safe, is there a pathway to adoption through working through the Department of Human Services in Newport News?
Absolutely. When you are approved through our process, you are what we call dual approved. Okay. So you are approved foster to adopt. Because if in fact those children or whoever is in care are not able to be reunified with their families, we don't want to cause any other separation. They have been in your home, you have been loving them for over a year. We don't want to take them out of your home to place them in an adoptive home. So we are ultimately working 2 or 3 goals at the same time. We are working on building a relationship with our foster parents and the children. And if they're not able to be reunified, we're certainly going to look at our foster parents to be able to provide that permanent support for the children in their home.
And what about open adoption and working with birth families through the adoption process? Is that something that Newport News facilitates?
Absolutely. If they're in foster care. So if they are in foster care, yes, we can certainly facilitate some things like that. That is a case-by-case scenario, and it's certainly based on the approval of the foster parents and the biological parents. We definitely take into consideration the foster parents' thoughts on that. We don't want to, push them into anything, but certainly we can make provisions for that. In fact, we did have a foster family that were able to adopt 2 siblings. They were ages 2 and 4, and it was an open adoption. And they still have connections with their biological families to this day. So absolutely, yes.
And I know the new model of Pride says that, the keeping the lifelong connections for children is absolutely in their best interest. That, in this day and age, I think it's not even realistic to think that if you were to completely sever a relationship between a child and their birth family, that they would not be able to reach back. So facilitating those healthy bonds when that can happen for, foster and adopted parents is probably very much in the child's best interest.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
So Kimberly, as you've been sharing this, I could feel your passion and enthusiasm, which I think is incredible. And that's really, what brings us together, right? Is everyone who's kind of on this team has that open heart and wants to get more involved. Can you tell us just a little bit, why do you do this work? And for parents or prospective parents rather, who are thinking about, do I want to do this? Is this for me? What would you say to them?
I would just say you have to be led by your heart. I do that. I do this because I am so very passionate about the children that we serve, and not only the children, but the families that we serve. So I think that I would just say, open your heart, be able to love children through all of the trauma that they have experienced and they come with. Just know that I tell my foster parents in training, and I say it often, and I know they probably get tired of me saying it, but it's like planting seeds. Everywhere you go, you're planting seeds. Every child's life that you touch, you're planting a seed. You may not be there to see that tree reach its full potential, but just know that you have played an intricate part in the life of a child. And that just makes all the difference in the world. And that's why I do this. I think that's why Newport News Department of Human Services is so passionate, not only about our children, but our biological families and our foster parents, because we understand that everyone plays a significant role in the life of this child.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think it's really important too that you are just illuminating that this is about more than the child. It's about the family. It's about our whole society. And taking this one step, if it's on your heart, is a way of helping with a much bigger situation, right?
Absolutely.
Amazing. So for people who do want to learn more and perhaps take the next step with Newport News, can you tell us where they should go, what step to take next?
Absolutely. So you can certainly email fosterparenting at nnva.gov. That actually goes directly to me, who's the foster parent trainer recruiter, and I will shoot you immediately information back, almost immediately. Or you can feel free to call us at 757-926-6283. Well, you will be greeted by a wonderful greeting saying, welcome to Newport News, and thank you so much for calling us and wanting to take the next steps to be a foster parent.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Kimberly, for sharing this, and honestly for just doing this work in the world and sharing your passion and enthusiasm and expertise in this area. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for doing the work that you all do. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
And a big thank you for listening. Foster Care Aware is all about spreading the word about how we can help the kids who are in care in whatever capacity works for you. Tidewater Friends of Foster Care is here to help support you through the journey. Whether you want to be a foster parent, volunteer, donor, or advocate, head on over to fostercareaware.org/nextsteps to learn more.